Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we're going to talk about value. Now, value is a word that has a lot of definitions in the English language. It can be, something like, I value my family, meaning like we care about, they're important to us. It can mean, what is the value of my car or my house, like the amount of money that it's worth. And in this case, we're going to talk about value as it comes to the elements of art, and this one is a definition for it in the art world is the lightness or darkness of an image. Our goal should be something like 50-50. 50% of your artwork is lighter, 50% is darker. Now, that's not always true. Sometimes you're going for something that has more of a light, innocent feeling. Well, then it's going to probably be on the lighter side. Sometimes you're going for something that's super dark and scary and creepy. Well, then it's going to be on the darker side. But what I tend to see younger artists do is to keep their artwork too light. And so I just want to encourage you and challenge you to always be thinking about, do you have enough dark shades and enough of your page covered with dark shades to really give it that good balance of lightness and darkness. So the lightest value known to mankind is what we call white, and the darkest would be black. Halfway between these two, we would call it middle gray. And that's important for graphic artists. They use middle gray a lot when creating logos and designs for people. And a lot of adults who make money with artwork work in the graphic design field. So that is something important that I want to make sure you know about. Next, we're going to create a continuum of the pencils that we tend to use in the art room. And this is just like a basic number line. So I'm going to just number this from 0, +1, 2, and 3, -1, -2, and -3, just like you've seen in your math class. But we're going to talk about what pencils would fall where on this number line. So the most basic pencil we have is an HB pencil, and you might be used to calling that a number 2 pencil. Okay, so HB.
What are you doing?
Okay, so the HB pencil is what you're used to, a regular number 2 pencil. The ones this way are the black pencils. And we have pencils like the 2B, 4B, and 6B in the art room. This one is the one that we use when we're really trying to create a black. The opposite way, we have the hard pencils. And they're called this because the lead is hard. It's kind of scratchy. And I don't really love using it except when I need to get a really fine point detail because it can tend to scratch paper. And especially with students, those can be really challenging to work with and end up still having paper that's not dented and scratched up. So these work just the opposite way. The 2 is closest to the 0, so it's 2H, just like the 1s are closest to the 0 in a number line. Then it would be a 4H. And then it would be a 6H. And I don't even use these in our art room at all, the 6Hs. They just are scratchy. All right, at the bottom here, we're going to create a value scale going from white to black. So this box right here is going to be white. We don't need to do anything. We're just going to keep it white. The next box is going to be light gray. And we want these boxes to be all colored in the same shade from corner to corner. And so I'm just going to use a hatching technique, which is just diagonal lines. And we want each step to get gradually darker. So on the next one, I'm going to press just a little bit harder. So that second box was my light gray. Now this is going to be more of a middle gray. I'm just using my diagonal lines. Now I'm going to go to my fourth box, which we might call a dark gray. And I'm just using a regular HB pencil, a regular number 2, you might call it, pencil. So that's why I'm only going to do 5 shades today. Sometimes I challenge my students to do like 9 shades, and then they like to break out like the 6B pencil so they can get some really darks. Notice it takes longer to fill in the darker shades because you have to push harder and you have to go over a space more than once. And then this last box, we're going to call it my black. It might not be black, because I am just using graphite here, but It's going to be significantly darker than the last one. And when you are creating an artwork with your pencil, these are the values that we want you to have in your artwork. We want you to have some areas that are still white. You might have to clean them up with an eraser. We want you to have some areas that are light gray, medium gray, or middle gray, dark gray, and black.